Hit the button, and we're rolling.
All right, buddy. How's it going?
Okay, it's going good, man. Feels like it's been a while.
Well, because it has.
Yeah, but maybe not as long of a while as it had been last time.
How long was it last time?
I don't know, a couple months.
Okay, that's pretty
This is
bad.
like a month and a half at the most.
Okay, that's nothing now.
Yeah, not so bad.
Relatively.
Yeah.
So
but yeah.
we just had a whole conversation, really trying not to talk about the movie.
Oh, yeah,
waiting
okay.
for this moment.
So anyway, by the way, you guys, welcome to Nick and Lars Have Notes.
Right, yeah. Hello.
I do feel like I wanna hit the disclaimer this time that we come in to these movies and watch them and then criticize them with the benefit of hindsight. We weren't in the middle we weren't in the thick of it while people were making this movie.
Oh yeah, trying to get it done, doing the best we can.
Yeah, it's way easier to criticize outside of that process. Once everything's already made.
Boy, do we love doing it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But I mean, basically, what I'm saying is that the very practice of criticism itself is like inherently unfair.
Yeah.
It's really
we don't know how to make movies.
Yeah, we never made one.
Yeah.
Little whatever's, but it's not like, we don't have to hold an audience's attention for 90 minutes.
Yeah, it's tough, man.
Yeah.
I respect it.
Yeah.
I respect everyone who worked on it and all that stuff,
Yeah. So it's really unfair what we're doing right now, and it's totally lame and we're jerks. So, but unrepentantly so.
Yeah, I mean, that said, we're going to tear this bad boy apart.
Yeah, oh, we're so mean.
We haven't even seen it yet.
We're awful.
Boy, I hate it.
Oh, man. But yeah, anyway, that's the disclaimer, is like, criticizing movies is not cool, and we shouldn't do it, but we do anyway. So,
yeah.
Okay.
Don't listen to us. But do, also.
Yeah, like, listen to us, but don't hear us.
Okay, disclaimer over. Lars, you have been excited about this for a long time because you're a big fan of the games.
I am such a fan of the games. I've been playing. I actually started with the second one, going commando, and then I went back and played the first one, and now I've played all of them except for like those mobile games, and I got a lot of platinum trophies, and yeah.
Okay.
I'm into them.
Fair to say you're a big fan.
I've played the new one on the PlayStation 4. That is like sort of the packaged with this movie,
right?
And it's great. It's so much fun. It's like feels just amazing on my eyeballs. It's so colorful and sharp and beautiful, and it's like what I always wanted video games to look like. And I put it on hard mode so I would die a lot so I could play it longer.
Now, you were saying some of the cutscenes from the game are clips from this movie.
Yeah. The story is the same, basically. I mean, at least the major points in the beginning and toward the end, it seems like.
So you pretty much know, at least the main beats, what's going to happen already in this film.
Yes, I do.
Now, with that said...
I know the beginning and I know the end, but I don't know the middle.
Since you basically played this movie, do you think it's going to be a good film?
Okay, so here's the thing. I should have probably stayed away from reviews, but I didn't.
Oh, I don't know anything about this.
So the reviews have not been very good for this movie.
I'm going to be honest, I kind of wasn't expecting it to be a good film.
Okay, well...
I think it's going to be charming and fun, but I don't think it's going to be like a story.
You know what? I don't think charming and fun is too much to hope for. But yeah, and I mean, I think it looks really good, but yeah, and like, I've been like in my head about it, like yesterday and today, I've been just like, you know what, Ratchet and Clank are like really fun to play as because they're, Ratchet is kind of like a gun ninja, or he's just like doing flips over robots and aliens while carrying like rocket launchers and cannons on his shoulder, and like,
sure.
just like death lasers or whatever, just blowing up giant alien dropships. And, what I realize is that is so much fun to play as,
right? But
I don't know how good of a film protagonist that makes, because you want a film protagonist to kind of be more of an underdog sometimes. So,
right,
yeah.
And I would sort of make the argument, what makes a game fun is actually taking away heavily from what a good story would be. As far as you have to go to this planet and do collect these 3 things, and then go over here and do this other stuff. That makes for a bad film.
Yeah. So it's like it's so much fun to be Ratchet. I don't know how much fun it's going to be to watch Ratchet.
Right.
But I really like the characters. I really like the world. So.
So this is a movie for you and the fans, I would say.
I mean, it seems that way. Although, it should be fun for everyone, though. you know, and I don't know. I mean, it does beg the question, like, can something be a good game and a good movie? And like, is there a balance there? Like, does
no,
making
right?
one better take away from the other?
No, as long as you separate them into two distinct things.
I mean, yeah.
Like the Batman games and the movies.
Right.
Whereas you could have something really terrible, like, I don't know, like Resident Evil or Mortal Kombat or something, that make terrible movies.
You know, I've played Batman Arkham Asylum, and I really enjoyed it, and I don't know if that would make a good movie.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Probably not.
I'm imagining it as a movie, and it seems kind of dumb.
Whereas playing through the story of Dark Knight, you know, maybe not so much.
Yeah, no, it's so much fun.
Because there's
just
brooding, like press A to brood.
Yeah.
Press A to watch this really cool like truck flip with practical effects.
Mm-hmm. Blow up the Batmobile because, you know, somebody needs a Batmobile in the face.
Yeah. Yeah. The point is, they need to be thought of as different things.
Yeah.
In order for them to both succeed. Because one, I would say precludes the other.
Yeah. So like, I mean, yeah, anyway, I guess we got to go in there and we got to watch this movie. I'm such a fan of Ratchet and Clank, and I have been looking forward to this movie.
You're gonna love it.
Yeah, like
I know you're gonna love it.
The thing is, like, I do feel like the game was almost a little bit light on story. I feel like they were kind of like, well, the story that we include is going to be a little bit lighter, like it's from the film. Its cutscenes are from the film. So they're like a little bit longer than they might have been if they were just in the game. Mm-hmm. And then they ended up leaving other things out. So I feel like the game was almost a little light on story. So I feel like this movie is almost going to fill in the game a little bit for me at the same time.
Okay.
So,
well, you were saying companion piece.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, like, well, yeah, I almost feel like it would be. This is gonna be weird to say, and I might be totally wrong.
All right.
But I feel like if you play the game, it's almost better to see the movie as well. Like, although I won't know until after I've seen it.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, and whether vice versa is true, again, won't know until I've seen it. So yeah, maybe you'll watch the movie and you'll be like, I feel like I need to play the game now to really get the full experience. But we do need to judge this as a standalone piece, ultimately.
Right, and I have not played the game, so that's what I will be doing.
Yeah, although you've played other Ratchet games.
Yeah, and I am a fan of the games.
Yeah, they're great.
They're really good.
Oh man, we should play Crack in Time, like, after this.
All right, sounds good.
Okay, cool. All right, but we better go watch the movie now. Okay, bye guys. All right, and we're back.
Okay.
Yeah. So we just watched that whole movie.
Yes, we did. The entire thing.
Yeah.
Uninterrupted.
All right,
I'll just say it. I liked it.
Yeah, I think all these reviewers are a bunch of haters.
Okay, well, we made this prediction in the beginning, which is if you're a fan of the game and you already know the characters, it's gonna be a good time.
It's true.
If you're like a guy in a suit and you go to your job all the time and you're writing about Casablanca and The Godfather, it's not for you. It's not going to make any sense.
Honestly, the longest review I read was actually very poorly written.
Okay.
I was like, why is this guy writing reviews? I don't think he proofread this. I don't think he made a second draft of this. Like,
right.
Yeah. No, yeah, I liked it too. I mean, I like Ratchet and Clank and Captain Quark. I've met them all before. I know them well.
Yeah. But dude, like, as a movie, it was pretty good. If they called it like, Cat Friend and Robot like went out to save the world and it like wasn't tied into anything, I think it would have been reviewed a lot higher.
Yeah, actually. Yeah, and I think it's funny because I feel like a lot of the reviewers, they like see all the weapons from the games being showcased and shown by name, mm-hmm. and they're like, oh, they're trying to sell all these weapons. And it's like, the thing is though that like these aren't toys. Like, these aren't toys that you buy off the shelves. This isn't like capitalism. This is like featuring things that you use in the game.
But I think that the way they integrated things like that, like things from the video game into the movie, was really fun and interesting.
Yeah.
All the weapons had a lot of personality to them, just like they do in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And it was showcased in like a fun way. I liked it.
Yeah. No, it's a fun movie. It's not a movie that's going to change your life or make you cry.
No, certainly not.
I'm not going to see it 4 times like I did Zootopia.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I had fun. They kept me laughing. They kept me interested. The thing clipped along. It
really did.
Yeah, good pacing. It wasn't a perfect movie. It was a little here and there. I was like, well, like I think there were a couple of sequences where I was like, just combine those sequences. Like the editing's a little funny. Here and there, like there were a couple of times where I was like, the dialogue isn't quite dancing perfectly with the action, you know.
Sure.
Somebody misses, and then somebody says, he missed. And it's like, yeah, I mean, we all saw, like, you know, it's like, that's an unnecessary piece of dialogue.
Yeah, or it goes on just like a little bit too long.
Yeah,
We're like,
yeah.
just move this line up just a little bit.
Yeah, but, you know, like small notes, you know, I mean, it's not like I felt that way all the time. You know, it was like here and there I noticed that.
Yeah. Well, okay. Small notes is okay. Here's what I'm gonna say. There's not like anything I would really change about like what it was. It was a Ratchet and Clank movie, and the story was like a Ratchet and Clank thing.
Yeah,
but
no big changes.
Yeah,
really.
it's not anything obvious. Like, why didn't you go to this planet first?
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's because they didn't really set anything up. It was a very plot-driven, not character-driven thing, where just things happen and the characters react to it. Therefore, it's just the next thing's going to happen until the movie's over.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty fair. You know, yeah, they're running from one thing to the next,
but it was fun.
Yeah, it was
a fun ride.
Yeah, it was fun. You know, nobody cares if we spoil this movie. Spoilers are not gonna take away from your enjoyment of this movie. Let's
not worry about it.
Yeah, let's just dive into spoilers.
Sure, yeah.
You know, I mean,
you guys aren't going to see this, right?
Yeah. No, I mean, well, maybe. I don't know. If you
play
played the game, you'll enjoy it.
If you're a fan of the game.
Yeah. If you're a fan of the game, you'll totally enjoy it.
Yeah.
And you know, and it's like a hoot. You know,
it's also a holler.
Sure. I mean, if you want to go, okay.
It's both of them.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, okay. So one. You know what would have been my biggest note?
Okay.
My biggest note on this movie, which I enjoyed, but is not perfect.
Okay.
You know, and that's our thing. You know, we want to say, oh, this is what I would change. This is the whole thing.
Sure.
When Quark gets kind of like brought over, you know, Quark gets talked into betraying his team.
Yes.
And I felt like the scene in which they talked him into that, like, needed to be sold more. Like, I didn't...
It seemed very quick.
It went very
he was
quick.
Ready to betray this team he's worked with for years.
Yeah.
At the drop of a hat.
Yeah, like, I would have, you know... It needed to be sold more. It needed to be set up more, you know? Like, let's have, you know... you see in places... like Quark being like, okay, yes, you like Ratchet, but pay attention to me.
Right.
Like, that's in the movie, but let's see him brood or boil over that on his own at some point.
Yeah.
Let's see that is something that he is upset about, not just in the moment.
When when the bad guy, whatever his name is, Drek, is trying to convince him, this would be the first time Quark has ever really thought about it before. Whereas we should have a little bit of setup.
Yes. So we should have shown him, like, you know, like...
wish I could do something about this.
Earlier,
this really
let's see him really be resentful. Let's see it really get under his skin before.
Yeah. And he just wishes there was something he could do, you know, to get back in the limelight. And finally, this is the opportunity. Yeah,
and also he's very... In that sequence where Drek is talking to him, he's very passive. He pretty much doesn't say a word.
Right.
He says, like, I'm listening, and then he's just kind of, woo, like big eyes, ooh mouth, you know, quiet. Throughout everybody, like, throwing this...
Them telling him what he's thinking.
Yeah, and I felt like, let's get his thought process. Like, we get his thought process all throughout the rest of the movie. Mm-hmm. But for that sequence, it's just kind of like... You know, let's have him say, well, I don't know, you know, or have him say, well, but, you know, I mean, it wouldn't be that bad, right? You know, let's have him ask questions, have him change his mind, you know, like, so that part I feel like was functionally the weakest sequence in the movie in terms of what it needed to do and how it went about it.
Greatest opportunity for a character moment in a story that doesn't have a lot of character moments in it.
Yeah. So, yeah, you know, but I mean, I'll say, I mean, I really had fun.
Oh, it was great. And let me heap on some praise. I think the environments were so much fun. There were all these different places, a factory, inside of ships, on planets. It was so much fun looking at the way everything was lit and all the colors. It was just really well designed.
Yeah, and a lot of these places are like in the game, and it was like, I was really happy that I saw this movie because it did really round out the story that you get in the game. Like in the game, there are like parts of it, and there's sort of like the story of the movie, but a lot of the plot removed, and then a lot of side quests to get you to visit more planets.
Gotcha.
Like in the game, you actually go to Novalis before it gets blown up.
Novalis being the planet that he was building?
No, that was New Quartu.
New Quartu.
I
don't
my
know
gosh!
these names.
By
dude.
the
There's like a million
way,
names.
you guys, I'm such a Ratchet and Clank geek that I could just sit here and just like go on and on and on. Like it'd be like, you guys, the Alpha Disruptor does not have such a fast rate of fire. Like, I could sit here.
Yeah,
but
I'm a casual fan.
Yeah,
I don't know the ins and outs.
I don't think people would enjoy listening to me go through the technicalities.
Actually, sheep canon doesn't work that way.
The Blargian homeworld is actually Orxon, and they moved to Quartu, which is where the robot factory is located in the original game. Yeah, no, I don't think people need to hear that from me.
Right.
They can research all of that on their own.
I'm sure they
prefer.
will. I'm sure they absolutely will.
Oh yeah,
do that.
that's what. As soon as they're gonna be done, they're gonna go to like Ratchet and Clank Wikia, just read the whole thing.
Bone up on this before you see the movie.
They'll be like,
and enjoy it a lot
2,000
more.
pages, perfect. I got all day. But yeah.
What are some other differences between the game and the movie?
Okay,
for
so
better or for worse.
You know what? In the original game,
Okay.
Captain Quark was bought by Drek before the game even started. He was paid to be the celebrity spokesperson of the New Planet project.
Okay.
So, like in the original game, you get to see the Blargian homeworld of Orxon. It's all green with toxic waste, and you actually can't leave your spaceship until you get an oxygen mask.
Wow.
Like when you first arrive on the planet, only Clank is allowed to explore. And then also like Quark is like working against Ratchet and Clank the entire time and actually tries to get them killed.
Okay.
Like literally like has them meet him at his base and go through a death maze and then drops them through a trap door to fight a Blargian snaggle beast.
Okay.
So yeah. So he's like, and then at the end of the thing, like he's like in exile. Like he's way worse in the game. So like in this movie, they really tried to make him a much more redeemable character.
Right.
And actually, funny thing in the game, Quark actually serves time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, in this movie, he just kind of like says he's sorry, and people are like, I guess whatever.
That was a good goof, though.
It was
he
a
goes
good
on the
goof.
apology tour.
Like, yeah, no, I mean that was funny.
I'd be like wowed by my humility.
My epic.
Right.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
No, that was good. I mean, no, this movie definitely kept me laughing.
Yeah.
Definitely kept me laughing.
Yeah, I thought the amount of jokes per scene were pretty solid.
Yeah.
Not until SpongeBob 2 have I seen that joke to laugh or joke to scene ratio.
I think I laughed more in SpongeBob 2.
Yeah, we'll say.
Yeah.
No, SpongeBob 2 was really good.
Yeah, no, that was hilarious.
But this was a lot funnier than I was expecting going.
Yeah, and you know what? The story hung together more so than SpongeBob 2.
Right. Well, SpongeBob 2 was just also another movie where things happened.
Yeah,
with no rhyme or reason.
Yeah. That movie they didn't care much about plot. I think it was like 3 different ideas they had that they loosely stuck together.
Which worked.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
it was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun. I would place this movie kind of on a par with SpongeBob 2.
Yeah.
I would say not as funny, but more cohesive story.
Yeah. Also very cartoony.
Yeah.
Okay. One problem I sort of have with this.
Okay.
I think the designs are super cool, right?
Yes.
Because it comes from the games and.
The character designers who work on those games are amazing. They have like a website. You should check it out.
Okay. I feel like some of the animation for like some of the scenes could have been like a little bit tighter on the characters. And I think that the expressions could have been pushed a little bit more because their designs are so much fun. I would have liked to see a lot more cartoony things happening in the face.
I agree. And then even the lip sync here and there was a little mushy.
Yeah, in the beginning especially, I noticed it. I kind of just blurred my eyes and stopped paying attention to as much. It was probably around the rest of the movie too.
Yeah, definitely. No, there are a lot of little things you could tighten up.
And
But,
I
yeah.
only say that because it's such a cartoony looking movie in such a fun way.
Yeah, there definitely is opportunities there that they didn't take.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know if they'll make another one.
Okay.
Certainly
we're setting up for it.
They're certainly setting up for it, but I mean that could be as much setting up for the next game as it is for the next movie.
Yeah.
I mean it seems like, honestly, I think the release of the game was like pushed back because they were working on this movie.
Okay.
So, I wonder whether they'll do it. I mean, I guess it really is going to depend on how much money they make.
Which, based off of today, our viewing of it, which is, to be fair, is on a weekday.
Yeah,
in
it's
the
on a
middle of the
weekday.
afternoon.
Kids are at school. Parents are at work. It's a Friday after. We saw it at 2:00 on a Friday in April.
But there were 4 people in the theater. 2 of them were us.
Yeah, but matinee. We'll see. The real
see.
test will be tonight and the next couple days.
Mm-hmm.
I'll check the box office. They actually, who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? They could make their money back.
Sure, and the game was really widely received. So
That's
so
the
that was
funny thing.
successful.
Like, even though the movie, like, all the critics are like, "Meh, they're trying to sell toys," and it's like, these aren't toys. These are things you get in the game.
Yeah.
Like, the game is really well reviewed. Everybody loves the game.
Yeah, and they weren't like super duper pushing the game either.
Yeah. No, they weren't.
Although another fun element. The cutscenes for the weapons were so much fun, just like they were in the game.
Yeah, and they had those little the little Easter eggs. They showed like Sly
Jack and
Cooper and Daxter and was that Dan Johnson?
Probably.
You got a little Dan Johnson cameo, which is
Yeah.
so nice. He's
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you're
For those of you who don't know, Dan Johnson was a guy who worked at Insomniac Games and passed away. And for like 14 years, they have been putting Easter eggs of him in all of the Ratchet and Clank
That's
games.
really sweet.
Yeah,
And he made an appearance in the movie.
he did. Yeah. So pretty cool. I don't know. I liked it. It's not a perfect movie. I don't know. How do you want to rate this movie?
It was fun out of 10.
Fun out of 10.
Had a good time.
Yeah. I think somewhere in the neighborhood of 3.5 to 4 bags of popcorn. I think
Out of 5?
Okay. What do you think?
Yeah, you know what?
That's fair.
3.5 bags of popcorn and an extra large Pepsi.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'd say so. That's
right.
fair.
Sweet.
All right. So cool. So yeah. Yeah. Could be worth checking out. Play the game and then check it out,
I'll say this.
Yeah.
If you don't want to see the movie, go ahead and just listen to this podcast and have a good time with it. I probably should have said this at the top of the show.
Yeah.
But if you're a fan of the game, why not? It's good.
Yeah. If you have a PlayStation 2 or above, pick up one of these games.
Our sponsor today is Insomniac Games.
Yeah.
And Pepsi.
Yeah. Not because they paid me, but because I like both of those.
Yeah, and me because they paid me.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't tell you about that.
Oh, dang it.
I have an agenda.
I give it away for free.
Yeah, Carmax.com.
Damn it.
Is that a thing? Carfax.
I think both of those are things.
Oh,
Carfax and CarMax.
Whatever.
Is one a wax and one tells you your car's history. Doesn't matter. Okay.
Fairfax, the city.
Yes,
Go there.
and the street. Okay.
All right.
Trailer report.
Oh, shit. Okay, so I saw a new trailer for Angry Birds.
Yeah.
And you know what, man? I liked it.
Yeah.
The first couple trailers were kind of meh. This one had some good stuff in it.
I think each of their trailers has gotten better.
And this is coming from a guy who really despises the game Angry Birds. I think it's dumb. I hate all the merchandise for it. I'm sure the show was awful. This movie looks pretty decent.
And once again, my willingness to shill for people who have not paid me. I really liked Angry Birds for a long time. Although then they introduced power-ups, and then that rendered all my old high scores obsolete, so then I just didn't play again.
For shame.
Yeah. So I really liked Angry Birds for a while, and then they alienated me.
Okay. Well, maybe this movie's going to bring you back.
Maybe. Yeah. What were the other? Yeah.
Oh,
we're
the I almost said Ori and the Blind Forest. What's the one with the strings?
Oh, Kubo and the Two Strings, Laika's next movie.
Yes.
I'm excited to see it. I
Yeah.
feel like every Leica movie gets slightly better than the last one.
Yeah, I think this will be good.
Yeah, so I
This
want
looks
to
like a
support
lot
their
of fun.
efforts. I want to keep seeing their movies so they can keep making movies that are slightly better.
Right, until
Yeah.
eventually it's like the greatest movies ever made.
Oh my gosh, wouldn't
It's
that
just
be
gonna take another
amazing?
20 years.
Yeah, we're gonna be like old and like every Leica movie, we're just gonna cry.
Yeah.
We're just gonna be crying from start to finish.
Right. You have to have like a cup of water next to you so you don't get
Yeah.
dehydrated.
Yeah, but yeah, hey, for those of you guys who don't know, like, I mean, you guys, like, it was like Coraline,
Right.
and then Paranorman, and
Yep.
then Box Trolls.
Was Coraline their first one?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah,
That was alright.
So yeah, I feel like each of those got a little better. You know?
Yeah, I didn't see
yeah.
Box Trolls, but yes.
I
Otherwise,
liked
agree.
Box Trolls. It's not a perfect movie,
Uh-huh.
but I feel like the storytelling just a little bit tighter, a little bit more structured than
Okay.
Paranorman.
Yeah.
I feel like that's where their animation gets better. I think their storytelling gets better too. I think that's almost the most trackable part of that studio's growth is like as they're improving as storytellers,
Yes.
and they're the only stop motion game in town.
I was gonna ask, is this new movie stop motion?
It is.
It looks it looks too flawless.
Yeah, I mean,
I like the style a lot,
They
but
definitely
it just looks like 3D.
Okay, so like, they definitely like 3D print all of their face pieces,
Mhm.
and they definitely like digitally airbrush out the seams in their face replacements.
Okay.
And they definitely like use a little help from for special effects and whatever.
Aunt Maya.
Yeah.
See what
So. Yeah, but I mean it's stop motion.
Okay.
You know?
Well, then kudos. It looks really good.
Yeah. So we'll check that out when it comes out. I
Yeah.
don't know when that is.
What else? What else did we see?
Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows.
Oh man, God. I haven't seen the first one, but I don't understand why another one got made. I guess because people saw the first
I think it made
one.
money. Yeah, you know. We have kind of like a distrust of Michael Bay movies.
Just okay. I'm gonna upset a lot of people, but I never really got into Ninja Turtles.
Oh, okay.
I think it's on a surface value, it's kind of a dumb idea. It's bad. I don't understand why people like it. But I'm not really entrenched in the lore of the turtles, the eponymous turtles.
Okay.
But maybe it's really good stories. But man, it seems just like a dumb idea. Doesn't it? Why is everyone blind?
I mean, dude, no.
There's this goddamn CG rat
no.
talking to
I
them.
mean, okay, well, dude, like it wasn't always CG. It was
Well, I
like
know.
okay, so Nick. Now we're talking about Ninja Turtles.
All right, Ninja Turtle Watch 2016.
Okay, so the thing is, dude, like originally it was like a dumb idea, but it was meant to be. It was a parody comic it was like a little indie zine. It was like black and white, like black ink on white paper,
Okay.
not even grayscale. It was like a little indie comic a couple guys put together. It drew a lot from Daredevil. You know how Daredevil gets splashed with stuff and then
Radioactive.
yeah. Okay, that same stuff. Like they actually redrew that scene, but with a kid holding like 4 turtles in a fishbowl that he just bought at the store, and they get splashed like in the same manner. And then like
Okay.
Daredevil used to fight the Hand, so then the Ninja Turtles were fighting against the Ninja Foot Clan. Like it's
let me stop
it's
you really quick.
intentional.
Let me stop you really, really quick.
Okay.
That sounds amazing. I love that it embraces how dumb it is.
Yeah.
But now we have Michael Bay making this movie, and they actually look cool, and they're flipping around, and it's all
Okay.
serious. It's called like Coming Out of the Shadows.
Okay, and can I
Just
say
keep it dumb?
Can I say that I agree 100%? Like I eventually, like once it came to Netflix, once it was like there wasn't any money involved, I did see the first Ninja Turtles CG movie.
Okay.
And you know what? Let me go back. Let me say,
All right.
when I was a kid, I was totally into Ninja Turtles. Michelangelo was my favorite because he's a party dude.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, yeah, they're ninjas and they're teenagers and they eat pizza and they live in the sewer and they're turtles and it's so much fun and they're fighting robots and they're aliens and they're other mutants and they're just jumping around and they've got cool stuff.
Sure.
And I was totally into it as a kid. I've rewatched some of those cartoons. They don't hold up that well.
No.
I think I've seen some of the new CG show on Nick, and it's like better written than the one when I was a kid.
I hear that's actually pretty good.
Yeah,
And you know
yeah,
what? It works for a TV show that's like kind of goofy and fun.
Yeah. I think
I just don't like this movie.
I've seen a lot of the new one. It's good.
I think my problem is that it's looking realistic.
Yeah. Okay. So here's the thing. I saw the last movie. The thing is, those turtles, man, in the cartoons, they're like 5'6", and they're like they've got muscular arms and legs. You know, at least in the ones that I saw as a kid, and in some of the comics, less so in the new series. But they're not as thoroughly roided out as these ones in these new CG movies. In these new CG movies, they're all like 6'6" or 7 feet tall, and they all weigh like 250 pounds of like veiny muscle.
Yeah.
And it's like they're, you know, the part of what was cool about the turtles, I felt like, was that they weren't just like these hulking beasts of scary strength, you know, but that they were ninjas. And, you know, they were just little store turtles that got mutated into average height for a human size. But they learned to be ninjas, and that was what made them formidable.
Right.
And these guys, they're just like smashing, you know, they're like knocking over cars. They're just like, linebacker this car, you know, it's like, what? So, you know, to me, that kind of is not good. And also just their characterization in the, you know, and I see this so much in these movies where they've got like CG characters, is that the CG characters end up being the goofy sidekicks in their own movie.
Yeah.
And that's what it felt like when I saw the first one of these turtle movies, is that there was like, they were their sidekicks in their own movie, and the real main characters were like April O'Neil, Megan Fox, and whoever the other people were.
Sure.
Like, and then these turtles were going around and being goofy and being almost interchangeable in their personalities.
Okay.
So, yeah, you know, like the character moments were happening for the humans, not for the turtles. The turtles are being hyperactive and running around.
Gotcha.
So,
okay, fair critique. I would still say that it's just, as an idea, bad. But I also understand your specific critique for this film franchise.
Yeah, and I honestly, I think some of the best ideas are bad ideas. I think it's more about the execution. I'm not going to say it's a good idea.
Fine.
I think it's, well, a lot of turtle things
as long as they realize it.
Yeah, I'm saying I think you're right that it's a bad idea. I think a lot of incarnations of the turtles are executed well.
Okay.
I think these are not.
Yeah, fine, sure.
So anyway, wow,
right, that's been Ninja Turtles review.
Yep, episode 6.5 happened just there.
Yeah.
Episode 7 coming up. Angry Birds, I think.
I think Angry Birds.
Yeah. So we'll see you guys in May.
Cool.
All right.
Yeah, good stuff, man.
Yeah, no, this was fun. You got a little bonus review of Ninja Turtles.
All right, this has been Nick. Edit this out.
All right, this is Lars, and I love every movie.